Am I the butthole for telling my wife the lock on my daughter's door does not get removed till my brother-in-law and his daughters are out of our house? My brother-in-law, Sammy, lost his home shortly after his divorce 10 months ago. He moved in with us and brought his twin daughters, Olivia and Sloane 18, with him a couple of months ago. His sister, my wife, and I have one daughter, Zoe 16, and she and her cousins aren't close but get along fine. Olivia and Sloane have no respect for Zoe's privacy, none. They used to walk into her room and take everything they get their hands on, makeup, phone, accessories, clothes, school laptop, etc. Zoe complained a lot and I've already asked the girls to respect Zoe's privacy and stop taking things. My wife and Sammy saw no issue with this. After all, they're girls and this typical teenage girl's behavior. I completely disagreed. Last straw was when Zoe bought a $60 M.A.C. makeup kit that looks like a paint set that she saved up for over a month, and one of the girls, Sloane, took it without permission and ruined it by mixing shades together while using it. Don't know much about makeup, but that's what Zoe said when she found the kit on her bed and was crying. I told my wife and she said she'd ask Sloane to apologize, but I got Zoe a lock after I found she was moving valuable belongings out the house because of this incident. Sammy and his daughters saw the lock and weren't happy. The girls were extremely upset. Sammy asked about it and I straight up told him. He said my daughters aren't thieves. It's normal that girls of the same age borrow each other's stuff. He said Zoe could easily get another makeup kit for $15 from Walmart and shouldn't even be buying expensive adult makeup in the first place, and suggested my wife take care of this defect in Zoe's personality, trying to appear older than she is. He accused me of being overprotective and babying Zoe with this level of enablement. I told him this between me and my wife, but she shamed me for putting a lock on Zoe's door for her cousins to see and preventing them from spending time with her, saying I was supposed to treat them like daughters. Then demanded I remove it, but I said this lock does not get removed till her brother and his daughters are out of our house. She got mad. I was implying we kicked them out and said her family'll hate me for this. So I reminded her that I let Sammy and his family move in, which something her own family refused to do, so she should start with shaming/blaming them for not taking their own son and nieces/granddaughters in. If it wasn't for her family's unwillingness to help, we wouldn't be dealing with this much disturbance at home. Everyone's been giving me and Zoe silent treatment and my wife is very much upset over this. Not the butthole. Don't back down. You are the only one sticking up for Zoe. If her cousins want to use expensive makeup, give them your wife's. I guarantee she won't appreciate sharing anymore. They need to start behaving like appreciative guests. Not the butthole. Your wife harbors someone who tells you that Zoe has a defect in her personality for buying an expensive makeup kit. That's the kind of thing that has people thinking about divorce. Not the butthole. Your daughter doesn't feel like she has any privacy or respect in her own home and you gave her a lock to give her back her privacy. You tried talking to your wife, your BIL, and your nieces, and that got you nowhere. If your daughter has to accept 3 additional adults living in her home, they need to accept her very reasonable boundaries of not taking and ruining her things. Good for you showing your daughter you respect and support her. Not the butthole. My daughters aren't thieves. It's normal that girls of the same age borrow each other's stuff. His daughters, they are in fact thieves because there's a thin line in between stealing and borrowing, and that is our bestie consent. His daughters don't ask yours for permission on whether they can take something from her or not. They help themselves into her room, into her cabinet/closet, take whatever they feel entitled to, use it however they want, even if they destroy it, and then if so your daughter might see the object they stole from her again. You are being an amazing parent and Zoe will forever be grateful for having her back the way a parent should, whereas your wife, I don't know if it's the fact that those are her brother's daughters or if she just doesn't care about people getting through her dig other at whatever cost just to steal her property and damage it. Carrot. Also funny how it went from my daughters aren't thieves to my daughters just wanted to spend time with yours and now they aren't allowed to do so. Not the butthole. Good on you for standing up for your daughter. Your wife BIL and his daughters are ta. Your wife's argument that this is preventing them from spending time with her is completely invalid. They go into her room when she isn't there and take her stuff. Besides, they can spend time together in the living room or wherever else. Your BIL is ignorant. Mac vs Walmart has no comparison. Calling your daughter a defect is rich from a man whose adult daughters steal from a child. Perhaps he should fix this defect in their personalities. Stand your ground. This means so much to your daughter you cannot fathom. Wife needs to stop enabling BIL/cousins' bad behavior. She's essentially picking them over her own husband and daughter. But I'm certain she doesn't see that. Not the butthole. This is a recurring theme here on Reddit. People do not consider themselves thieves. Sammy and his daughters saw the lock and weren't happy. The girls were extremely upset. Sammy asked about it and I straight up told him. He said my daughters aren't thieves. They seem to be under the wrongful impression that to be a thief you have to wear a mask and carry a crowbar, but theft is the taking of another person's property or services without that person's permission or consent with the intent to deprive the rightful owner of it. Theft. This is literally what they have been doing, taking stuff that wasn't theirs, and the rightful owner incurred a loss. Sammy, who is your guest, sounds like an he said Zoe could easily get another makeup kit for $15 from Walmart. While this is probably true, it is none of his business, and doesn't change a thing. If you steal from a store, then the store owner could just get more stuff, but nobody considers that to be an excuse. He said Zoe shouldn't even be buying expensive adult makeup in the first place, and suggested my wife take care of this defect in Zoe's personality, trying to appear older than she is. Instead of talking to his kids, he blames the victim. We took her stuff because she shouldn't have said stuff. It would be better my kids had her stuff. Ugh. He accused me of being overprotective and babying Zoe with this level of enablement. Not only does Sammy refuse to teach his kids not to take other people's things, he also considers you to be a bad parent, even if you were incorrect in how you raise your kid, even if it would be better if your daughter shared her makeup. He is in no position to demand it, and his daughters, who are guests in your house, should follow reasonable house rules. Your wife is choosing her brother over her daughter, and hasn't thought things through. What if they next go through her things? What if Sammy next goes through her underwear? Where does it end? Expecting people not to go through other people's stuff is perfectly reasonable. Sammy is an entitled butt. I let Sammy and his family move in, which something her own family refused to do. I think you need to think ahead with this situation. You or your daughter are already uncomfortable in your own home. Your wife is upset. You need to do what is right for your immediate family before it puts even more strain on your relationship. I think you need to get them to leave before it gets worse. It doesn't take much imagination to see how it could. How uncomfortable do you have to be in your own home before something snaps? This is not a tenable situation. You have a right to feel safe/comfortable in your own home, and anyone that militates against that is playing a dangerous game. Not the butthole. Normal behavior is asking to borrow stuff and respecting a person's decision if they say no. You don't walk into other people's rooms without permission. Borrowing without asking is stealing, and good on you for standing by your daughter. She needs her privacy and also needs a sense of ownership. Her belongings are hers, and those girls don't respect that. Not the butthole. Sammy sounds like he is spoiling his daughters and justifying their actions by blaming the victim, Zoe. Kicking them out may be a good idea at this point. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe. It's free. Check out some other videos I've made.